Welcome. I am Erin Pearson Mills, your favorite Las Vegas redhead realtor.
I'm Nick Aquino, co-founder of Aquino Capital Group and your local mortgage broker.
I am Edward Znart. I am a local real estate agent and a market analyst.
And this is Unlocking Las Vegas. Happy Halloween and welcome back to our next edition of Unlocking Las Vegas. I am your host, Erin Pearson Mills, and to my left, my son-in-law, market analyst, Edward, and to my right, I think this could be the mortgage king today. Yes, it is.
I am.
Nick
How about
Aquino.
that?
Nick Aquino, absolutely. So I love that we're actually here in a different location today. We're not always going to be in the studio. Our goal with Unlocking Las Vegas is to actually show you guys what's here in Las Vegas, the mom and pop stores, all the little goodies around town. So this is near and dear to my heart. This is the McKee Ranch. My parents bought this ranch in 1999, and over the last several millions of years has turned it into one of the most beloved pumpkin patches here in town. They are an animal rescue ranch, animal rescue foundation, and I've got a lot of things they do for the community right here. Every single day, I think for the last 8 years, they pick up Panera Bread, day-old bread and treats. It is to feed the ranch animals, and we hand it out and donate it all around town to shelters and daycares and anywhere we go. We also have over 300 chickens, and so they've got a big co-op coop. I think it's co-op actually. And so they sell organic farm fresh eggs. And so if you ever guys want to head on down here, it's $10 and it's all donations. So the ranch is normally completely free, sun up to sundown. The only time that they charge is in the month of October. It is $25 per family, as big a family as you want to come in here. You get to come in, it's absolutely adorable. You can come in, you get to pick a pumpkin. It's amazing photo opportunities. And what I love is the only time that they charge that $25 donation per family, because it goes the entire year to service the animals, feed the animals, and maintain their health quality. So I'm excited to show you more about the McKee Ranch. But first, happy Halloween, guys.
Hey, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Let's talk about what we're wearing. I'm gonna get myself off the table because I was in Austin, Texas for this last weekend, and I had about 4.5 hours of sleep. And so I had dirty hair. And so I looked into my Halloween cabinet and I was like, what can I get away with dirty hair? So that is why I'm a geisha. And what are you happening, Nick?
I am the mortgage king.
Okay.
And today, I am going to grant your wishes one loan at a time
Okay.
of homeownership.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that because
That's
what's
correct.
our topic? Is it a good or bad idea to sell during the holidays? And so hopefully, you're going to
Yes,
chime in there.
absolutely.
And now you kind of look normal over here, but I like the thought process behind your costume. It's one of my favorite movies. Who are you?
I'm Jordan Belfort, and I'm the Wolf of Wall Street. I got 20 lemons right here for us to enjoy after the show. Donnie gave them to me himself. And
Can anybody name the show yet?
everybody invest in Stratton Oakmont. We are a growing legal firm. And Jordan Belfort.
The Wolf of Wall Street, ladies and gentlemen. The
Yes,
Wolf of Wall
sir.
Street.
All right.
That is good. I like an ingenious one. This is not ingenious. This is just called Dirty Fell Off an Airplane 3.5 hours ago. So.
And this is called Amazon as fast as possible.
Yeah.
We're forgetting that I totally wrecked the Lamborghini Countach.
All right, you guys. So today, since we're just kind of in the throes of the holidays, and I get this all day long, we're going to be talking about, is it a good idea or a bad idea to sell or buy during the holidays? Every single year, it's got to be different depending on the interest rates, what's going on in the world. And so I just want to target it, a blanket target, what people's thoughts are buying and selling during the holidays, and then more target specific to these days. So there's a lot of different points why people think or that it is slower to buy or sell during the holidays. Okay, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Well,
I mean, it's a lot of media.
Obviously, the most common reason why people don't want to buy during the holidays is because they feel like they have other expenses that take priority, correct?
So this is the blanket. This is the blanket thing. So yeah, like there's a lot of festivities. So people are just generally more busy, right?
Very true.
Agents are more busy. buyers are more busy, you've got all the parties, you've got all the travel, you have all of the things, right? And so is that a plus or minus for a buyer or seller? And we're kind of doing blanket strategy, not, targeted market right now.
So, sorry, I was doing some quick Google searching.
Stop it, Mr. Belfort.
It was related to the topic at hand. I'm trying to find the data.
Come prepared, will you? Jeez.
The data. Okay, I could come prepared and it still would make me unprepared. That's how this works. Regardless.
Generally speaking, it is slower because, it is the holidays. There's more buying, there's more parties, there's just more with everything going on. But I think that the people that are buying and selling are the ones that have to buy and sell. So definitely, I always talk about it's like the 5 Ds and a T. Can you guys name them?
Death.
Divorce.
Depression.
No. Death, divorce, now debt.
Debt.
Debt
Yes.
/ depression.
Debt.
Death, divorce, okay. Diamonds, diapers. Okay, so if we're getting married, we need a bigger house. We're having a baby, bigger house. Death, we have to get rid of a house. Debt, you might need to get rid of the house or buy a smaller house, okay? Divorce, you need to get rid of the house and buy 2 houses. And my T is transfer. Whether it be the corporate transfer or whether it be a military transfer, those are the have-tos, okay? Yep. So that's always gonna happen. So that's gonna play into the sellers needing to sell, and having to take advantage of the low inventory that we have. So we do have massively low inventory here. So what were you kind of drilling down over there?
So to make a long story short, and this is kind of going to be funny, home sales on average dip about 10% compared to the rest of the year between October and December. What does that mean? In essence, it means while home sales do drop during the holidays, they don't drop as nearly as significant as people think. However, there is an asterisk to that because a lot of the time it's homes that were on the market prior to the holidays and don't go into contract until September, and because it can take up to 45 days to close, they don't
With a terrible lender, not this guy.
Not
That
with
is
me,
true.
No, sir.
But that's the average. That's the average.
Okay, we're blanketing.
So to make a long story short, if it's recorded between October and December, it counts as a sale in those months, so it inflates the numbers. So I can't pull that data, not enough tools to do so. But to make a long story short, according to what we have from LVR and NAR, it's not as bad as people want to believe.
Well, and drilling down to the market conditions right now. So if your home is priced right with the low inventory here, I still see houses getting full asking price or more because of the low inventory, okay? And if buyers are smart right now, it is a buyer's market because it's a slow market. And so you're actually getting the sellers that are like, I need to unload this, through the holidays. I don't want to pay a mortgage for 3 months.
Seller's concessions.
Exactly. I'll give you the seller's concessions. We can drill down on using
Rate
that for
buydowns.
the rate buy downs,
Yep.
all the things.
We're also forgetting that a lot of sellers are holding contingent offers on other houses, and they really would like to be moved in prior to, especially like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they're going to definitely start to become desperate as we go into the beginning of November because they really want to offload the house. They don't want to have that stress of trying to sell a house while trying to cook a turkey and pretending to be Santa Claus.
Yeah, they want to put up their decorations. They want to have all the love fill their houses. And so right now it is October 31st. And so if you get into contract, you can have the whole month of December to enjoy the holidays. And so the sellers are like, let's make a deal, sort of a situation. What I love about Las Vegas, let me just BITCH a little bit about my holiday this weekend. So we went to Austin, Texas. I've been to Texas a few times, but for work mostly. And so I never really leave the convention. So I'm like, we're doing Texas. We went down there for a BYU football game. We lost, but in 72 hours, we experienced the hottest, most humid weather on the planet to overnight the coldest, most rainiest, humid weather on the planet, which segues into the fact that you know why the market slows down right now over the holidays? Weather. That's why I freaking love Las Vegas. Born and raised here. Every time I come home, I'm so happy because we can go out, open house, we can show houses because we've got very, very just, calm, I'm saying calm temperatures. Yes, it gets cold here in the desert, but does it rain here? Does it snow here? So, in other markets, I would imagine it grinds to a halt.
This is such a
I mean, where are you from?
Exactly.
Where are you from?
Upstate New York.
Where are you from?
Northwest Indiana.
So we can talk about the snow and the market.
It's funny you say that. Last week I was at my brother's, my nephew's baseball game, and I had shorts and a t-shirt on, and I see two people walking up the hill to the field, and they had winter jackets, snow hats, and it was like 62 degrees.
It's like the Canadians that visit here. Like they're jumping in the pool. We're like,
Exactly.
it's freezing. They're like, it's amazing.
Exactly.
So
You can tell which one of us has never been to the Midwest or the East because humidity, heat, and rain do not scare me. I will walk 10 miles in any of those conditions.
I think you're still like Jordan Belfort. Like you're still whispering into this microphone. Like
I'm
I'm
not-
old. I'm losing
I'm
my
not
hearing.
whispering. I was unfortunately kept up till about midnight last night having to wait for specific family members at the airport, and I am rocking on about 3.5 hours of sleep due to the fact that my dogs
These-
do not know how to shut up.
These young people that whine these days, like I am twice your age, and I was like, bam, 4 a.m. Let's go.
We prioritize sleep. We do not prioritize
Take a
working
nap.
until we
Take a
die.
nap.
There's
I know.
enough time to sleep
I
afterwards.
am the workaholic.
Yes.
So, okay, so we understand that, weather conditions can slow down the market, but here in Las Vegas, we do not have that excuse, so I do not even want to hear it. That's why I think a lot of people do flood to, Las Vegas because of our no state taxes and the beautiful weather. And yes, it is a dry, damn heat. Don't even want to talk about that.
Love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it.
Obviously, and you know what? People talk about the school year, moving with families. I mean, but when you break down the market, like, is there like a pie chart? I mean, yes, families move all day long, but so do single people. So do married couples. So do old couples without children. So the school year consideration is only a very small part of the pie.
And don't forget too, although you don't want to uproot somebody during the middle of of the school year, the best time to do it is in between the spring and fall semesters. So if you have to move, that is the best time to do it.
Yes. Okay, and since we are live at the McKee Ranch, we do have our rescue dogs that are welcoming people, and so we all love dogs, which is great. So basically, I've heard a lot, because people amp up for the holidays. A lot of people spend a lot of money on food, on the entertainment, on parties, and of course the gifts, the endless gifts. So in my opinion, but I mean, I'm a little heartless. I'm heartless, and I have older children.
That is true.
Yep, your son-in-law, speak it out. But wouldn't you rather me, buy you an investment condo than to give you like a whole bunch of presents under the tree?
I want Legos. I can buy investment
still a kid at
properties
heart.
all day.
Still a kid at heart.
The UCS, the Ultimate Collector Series Venator, is a limited time only.
So the only thing though is that we've been hearing that the credit card usage is really, really high.
Credit card
Right now.
usage is at an all-time high. There's an
Yes.
estimated $1.6 trillion in debt, and an estimated 135 million Americans will miss their credit card payment tomorrow.
Yeah, which is not ideal. I mean, our whole life's goal is to, keep you guys not house poor, striving toward financial, your financial goals, which is, home ownership. And so, I mean, yes, I am the Grinch. My kids have always been fine, but we would rather travel, give them experience. My whole point is trying to educate people to not overspend on these little things, especially if you're renting.
It's all about prioritizing.
Well, and education to your children growing up too.
Thoughts? I actually, it's funny, I was ranting to Isabel. So I live in a small neighborhood, very small. I think I've said this, houses are about 1,600 square feet.
They are darling.
And I bitch and moan because everybody around us has Chevy trucks and big ass SUVs, like big 3-row Expeditions, Highlanders. And these houses, when I tell you they're next to each other, it's like me and you sitting next to each other type close. And they park right up on my driveway, and I just complain because it's an example of how people do not prioritize their spending. My neighbor has a Toyota
So it's
Highlander.
kind of like the genie, big personality, itty bitty living space or whatever that was.
Kind of.
It's kind of like they're skimping on their home, but they have to have the big fancy cars. They have to have.
Listen, I'm not saying I did it the right way. I'll never say I did anything the right way. But me and Isabel were in the house before I bought my Model 3. We got the house and then I bought the Tesla. A lot of the times you have people that buy the car and then worry about the house later.
It's more of a superficial thing.
Correct, and the
kinda like
problem
the way the world
becomes is
works.
like you end up realizing that that $900 a month car payment is preventing you from getting the bigger house with the 2-car garage, and now you have to settle for a 1-car garage.
Your debt to income ratio is way off.
Your DTI is screwed up, and Nick, I'm pretty sure you can tell us multitudes of stories of people that are screwed with their $1,400 Z71 payments.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
talk about our ages really quick. Ed, you're 25.
Sure.
Are you not?
I'm 25 if that's what people want to think.
He's 25. I'm 46. How old are you?
41.
Okay, so I am the oldest and wisest in the group, and I just have to say, I really never cared about cars. I really didn't. I drove pieces of garbage my entire life because I loved my big, giant, wonderful home. I'd rather like go and shop at thrift stores and like drive a beater car because cars really weren't that important to me. You know, when you go...
Tell us about your Audi.
I am now 46. But for 25 years, I did not drive sexy cars. I really didn't have car payments. I really wanted to invest in my home and stuff like that. Now you get to a certain point, maybe in certain, because if I was driving to plan weddings, nobody's looking at my car, actually. Now in my line of work, when I have to put people in my car and you're kind of in this industry of people looking at what you have, which may represent your status and success, which I don't technically agree with. But the first time 3 years ago when I actually had a billionaire client, it will remain unnamed to keep it private, and I was showing them like double-digit million homes in triple guarded the Ridges, and we were going to go see millions of dollars of homes in Lake Las Vegas. He did not give a crap that I drove a bright blue Volt, Chevy Volt. He did not care, but I felt insecure as I am driving up to these mega mansions, and the listing agents on the other side were very slick, and they had all the cars, and they're like, and I felt, are they taking me seriously? And that's probably the first time I was like, I can afford it. I can step up my game a little bit. Yes, hence I did buy the beautiful Audi. You know it better than I do. What is it? It is an e-tron, which, saves me in the gas. My point being is people need to educate themselves to be a little bit lesser on the credit side and the,
Everybody's budget allows for different things, right?
Yeah.
So if you
Do
can
you want
afford
a house
it,
or do you want a car?
That's right.
Guess what depreciates? Cars. Guess what doesn't depreciate? Houses. Unless it's 2008. Go.
That's why you lease a car. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just going to say that. So the golden rule of finance is anything that's going to create value, you buy. Anything that's going to depreciate, you lease. Lease a car, buy a house.
Okay, or a Chanel purse, because vintage-wise, it can appreciate. Never mind.
You're not wrong, but it's not gonna...
I'm just talking to guys here.
No, you're not wrong. I have a pair of unopened Yeezys from when Nike had the contract, and they're worth quite a bit of money, but, that was a one-off, and I didn't buy them with the intention of them appreciating.
I mean, there's something to say about an original Barbie in an original box at this point. So,
the weirdest things are going to become valuable, guys, all right?
But it's definitely not a car. It's definitely, not latest cell phones. All that stuff depreciates. And so...
Not unless it has a V12 or has the Lamborghini or Ferrari badge. Sorry, guys.
Just going to stop. Unless it's like a real classic. Like a 1954 Corvette. Okay. So, and here's the thing. The media tells us what to do, what to think. I don't even care. If you're watching the media, it's absorbing. Okay? So they're telling you it's a horrible time to buy and sell. The interest rates are too high. So if you really want an education, we can't say enough about buying at an 8% when it's a buyer's market.
So let me ask you a question. Let me run this scenario by you. So what do you think would happen if Jerome Powell says tomorrow, we're dropping rates to 6%?
Shit would hit the fucking fan.
And I'm going to tell you why. It repeats itself all day long, but if you're not if you're not in our business, you don't know. It's kind of like right now when I want to, or let's just say like 1 week before Halloween, 2 weeks before Halloween, it hits October 1st and everybody wants that giant Jack Skellington. It is overpriced and you can't get it. Now, if I want to buy it now for next year, you're a smart, consumer.
I was listening to a podcast over the weekend, and they said, they use this as an example. If you took a $900,000 house in today's market.
A 900?
Yep.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the Fed decides to drop rates to 6%, which they're not going to do, so don't quote me on saying that. But if
Fed
they
isn't
did,
dropping rates for a while, guys.
that's correct. But if they did, that same home would be worth $1.2 million.
Right.
So would you rather buy a house at 900,000 at 8%, or would you rather buy a house at 1.2 million at 6%?
Because you can't change the sticker price, but you can change your
The rate.
interest rate.
Exactly.
And you know what? I love this. And my dad, he told me this the other day. He was listening to our podcast, and of course he thinks we do everything wrong, but welcome to my childhood. No, he's a great guy. But he goes, the smartest man, so Sam Walton, so he invented Walmart. And he said, do not buy a straw hat in summer. Do not buy an umbrella when it's raining. You know, always think ahead. Always invest in your future.
Yep.
Don't buy a pool in the summer. Don't buy a hot tub in the winter. Same thing. And so right now, buyers are so smart because the sellers are going to give you the money to buy down your rate, cover your closing costs. You're keeping extra cash in the bank. You're going to get a deal on your house, essentially.
Absolutely.
And honestly, you can refinance whenever
And
you
as
want to
soon
do
as
it.
the rates come down, especially if you have someone that's helping you and that is going to alert you when the time is right, like all my clients will be notified when it's time to refinance.
Yeah, so if they purchase with you now and they're locked into, between 7 and 8%,
Exactly.
you keep your finger on the pulse and you're like, hey, guess what? I'm watching this right now. It's now 6.5. Let's go ahead and refinance you. And do you offer
Absolutely.
discounts to your clients? I know a lot of people do.
Absolutely, 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and also right now, just so quick plug in, for the month of November to give thanks to our clients and our realtor partners, we are continuing our rebate appraisal for the end of November. So if you go under contract and close your loan within 45 days, we will rebate you the price of the appraisal at closing.
How much is an appraisal?
I'd say right now the average is somewhere between $550 and $600.
Okay, so you're just gonna give that back to me in shiny gold coins?
Because I'm the mortgage king.
I know.
Hello.
I have a
Did you
scenario-
forget
I have
already?
a question for you guys on the subject of rates and buying.
Yes.
So one thing that a lot of people do not talk about, and I'm not pointing fingers, is that a lot of people tend to ignore the fact that when rates are high, you're going to get pre-qualified for less money. So let's also let me just ask a question here, Nick. At 8% right now, somebody comes to you. Let's say it's a married couple, make $120,000 a year average, or we could even knock it down to the average household income, $72,500 a year.
Decent credit?
What would decent credit, both have car payments with newer cars within the last 3 years, student debt, what would you expect them to be pre-approved for? With today's current interest rates.
What the rates they are today.
It is the meanest question because it's so generic, but
It
I
is
get
a
where you're
generic
going.
question, and
I
you
get
don't
where
know
you're
what
going.
obviously what state
Just-
they are
just a
in.
ballpark
But in this
figure. It doesn't
area,
have to
due
be
to
accurate.
taxes and stuff, I'm going to say somewhere between $375,000 and $400,000.
Now let's knock rates down to 6%. Nothing else changes. What would you say?
You're going to pick up about $75,000 to $100,000.
So what I think people also need to kind of understand is, depending on the type of house you want, is also going to determine where you're at, just in general. Because a lot of the time, I see a lot of people, especially on TikTok and Facebook, that they complain because they're like, in 2021, I was getting pre-approved.
I
for
could have got a 3,000 square foot house.
$500,000 house with 3-car garage, a pool, and now I can't even get approved for a condo. I think people also need to kind of keep that in mind when they're shopping for rates, that yes, when rates are lower, you can get more, but that doesn't always equate to a better situation.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you and my daughter on a pedestal here, though. Okay, so you did lock in a really low rate, and you got your home for $262,000. Congratulations. Okay.
It was sheer luck, though.
It was. No, it wasn't, because your mother-in-law's awesome.
No, it was sheer luck.
The best realtor.
I
in
found the
town.
house while scrolling the MLS one night. The person that owned it was an Asian investor. I think they lived in China. We were the first offer that came through
And they
at
just-
asking.
they're like, "All right."
They accepted it, and we closed within like 45, 50 days.
Here's the thing,
Super
though.
lucky.
Here's where I'm going with this, though. Let's say, and the house was a little small for you guys. No, you don't have kids, but you have a couple dogs, so it's 2-bedroom and a loft.
Demons.
It's a little tiny, okay?
1575.
You guys got approved for, barely over that. So it was $275 back then because you guys were in college, that sort of a thing.
We were
But
making 80 grand, not 80. We were making like
here's the
60
thing,
grand
though.
combined.
Within that time frame between here and now, what is your equity in the home? Ballpark.
100.
Yeah, $100,000. So again, now when the interest rates are lowering, so if somebody bought something a little too tight for them, a little too small, knowing in the future that you can actually turn around and sell this and make such a gigantic profit, move up.
Different conversation, but you should never sell a home that you own. Rent it out.
Well, honestly. But if you're, just trying
Different
to move up,
conversation for a different
totally
day, but
different
correct.
conversation. And you know what? My last point, so we can kind of wrap this up, is the availability of professionals. And so a lot of people are kind of like scared to reach out to like mortgage lenders, title people, agents, because like, "Oh, I don't want to bother you. I know it's the holidays. Everybody's so busy. You've got all the school things." Well, I think that finding like the right professional for you is kind of the thing. So if you want like a bona fide workaholic, that would be me. That would be me. That would be you.
Me too.
I know. Well, guess what? You actually, you guys, we both have older children. I think that's the magic sauce, right?
Absolutely.
That's the magic about being over 40. Let's just call it.
I mean, working out of the house.
But over here, he doesn't even have any kids. I'm not saying.
I have 2 dogs. They act like kids.
But
Same idea.
professionals that, do have children, I'm not cutting you out. I'm just saying that there are people that if you're really ready to go, I got a text out of the middle of nowhere that somebody met me in an open house in January. They're ready to buy now. And so they've been watching my social media. They know my personality. They know that I'm going to be dedicated to them until we find that perfect house and until we close. And bar none, I'm not going to leave them high and dry. Okay? So
It's really important to have faith in who you're working with and
Yeah.
pick the right person for
yeah,
sure.
communication is a big deal.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I'm really excited because now we're actually going to leave the podcast area that we're here inside the McKee Ranch. So tune into our YouTube to kind of get a background at my mother's organizational hoarding. But it's super, super cute. It looks like a darling antique shop. So we're actually going to go outside and show you guys some of the fun things that you guys can do with your families here at the McKee Ranch, whether it be Halloween time, which we only have, until this evening, or on a regular basis, because now it's free to the public, sun up to sundown. Bring your own carrots, bring your own crackers, enjoy kind of like, the country life and not the city life.
Before we leave, I do have to say one thing, and I wanted to do it at the beginning, but I forgot. We need to celebrate the return of one of the greatest bands of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Creed is coming back on tour. You can end the podcast whenever, but we gotta sing it.
All right.
Hang on, wait. There you go.
And
Perfect. That's how we end it.
And I just want to go to Katy Perry before her residency ends. Who's up for that one?
Let's do it.
Okay, what about you?
Usher?
End of the year. You want to go to Usher
Let's
here?
do it.
All right.
Super Bowl. Hey,
Creed, Katy Perry,
Usher,
Super Bowl.
we're good. Let's do it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and let's go outside unlocking Las Vegas to unlock the McKee Ranch.
Look at the size of that thing.
This is our resident turkey.
Holy cow.
So
It might be a cow. Look at it.
That's so pretty. It's a pretty turkey.
Okay, you stay right there.
Anyway, let's go around. I want to show you guys all the different places that families like take all their photos here. Are you scared?
He doesn't like you.
He love. Well, I'm not wearing my cowgirl boot to a kiss. Mwah! All right.
Yeah.
The adorable snack shack. I'm holding the pumpkin of my choice, but you can come here. We've got my son that runs a snack shack. You can
Diet
get
Coke.
You can get my favorite. You can get sodas. You can get hot dogs. So the snack shack is part of the foundation to feed the animals. So love the snack shack. Come on down. All right, you guys. These are our precious mini horses. They are not ponies. There are mini horses. Hi, Barbie. Hi. And you guys can put your kids on here and ride them for only $5 each. And they're here to take care of the horses all year long. And for our bigger folks, you can come out here and ride this beautiful guy for only $10. Yes, you're for the adults and the big kids, aren't you? So sweet. We love them. And always, we've got our wonderful vendors to come out here and support. Your kids would love the face painting. You know what? We can actually just paint right here. That is a perfect little palette.